Hello, welcome. Marlon here, and we're working on some cool glow-in-the-dark jack-o'-lanterns for today's cookie project. Stay tuned for the step-by-step tutorial. Here is my chocolate cookie dough, and for this project I'm cutting pumpkins, and then I'm also cutting some hats, which will kind of be pieced together. So there we go. Ooh. I'm going to pop them in the freezer so that I could assemble, and everything's going to be nice and tidy. There. Remove the excess dough, pop in the freezer, and we'll come back in a moment to put them together. Here is that chocolate cookie dough once again, and this time it's rolled to the thinnest thickness, and I'm using saran wrap to cut the hat. And this creates a rounded edge on the hat. Piecing my parts together now. So first thing is I'm trimming the hat, and then I'm connecting that with the pumpkin here. I'm adding a bit of water to the hat area, and then I'm adding the beveled hat we made, and that hides the seam. And we have a nice fuse there. Here are the baked and cooled cookies, and I'm just adding some yellow icing to where the face is going to go. My icing is quite thick, thicker than I normally would use with this technique, just for the opacity. The cookie is quite dark in color, and so if I come in and add a really runny icing, well, I'm not going to get the coverage. It's not going to hide that dark chocolate color. And you're just applying a thin amount to the cookie. There's one more step we can do as the yellow is drying. We can add the trim here on the hat, and that needs to dry as well so that we can add the little buckle. So all I'm doing with some purple icing, I thought that was a very good Halloween color, and I had it mixed up from my Day of the Dead cookies. And all I'm doing here is I'm just doing a straight line and then a little bit further coming back on it. And there's the ribbon for the hat. The hat is all cookie. I'm so excited that there's no black icing on this cookie. I'm not a fan of black icing. And we're just going to smooth this out. And look, the hat doesn't need icing. Look at how cute it is. My yellow icing has had time to dry, and now I'm just painting on some glow-in-the-dark Lumo paint, and this will glow activated with a black light. And I'm just brushing this on to the surface of that yellow icing. And once this is dry, we'll be able to move on to the next step. And now I'm adding a little buckle to the hats, just like that. There we go. And I think I'm going to paint these later gold, but for right now, that's it. My base icing has had time to dry, and now I can come, or I should say my glow-in-the-dark paint has had time to dry, and now I can come in and add my guidelines. I'm doing this with a green marker just because if it's visible on the finished product, it's not a huge deal. And there's our design. Okay, now I've got my guidelines. It'll be super easy to outline the face. I'm just tracing out those lines, trying to lay my green icing on top of my green line. I'm thinking I might, once this is dry, repaint with that fluorescent color just to add the glow. Make sure it glows really nicely. I added a bit of green marker there just to give myself some guidelines. And I'm going to start with the outer sections of this pumpkin. I just ate one of these cookies. One of them broke. Oh my god, they're so good. I actually broke off the hat and just ate the hat. since there was less icing on it. I love this chocolate cookie. So I'm just filling in like that. And now along the mouth, all the way to the top here. And let's get that section. And now we're immediately flooding this. And now I'm just going to shake the cookie. And you see, that smooths out the icing. And we're going to let that dry so that we can come in and do the inner sections here and have some definition. And now I'm adding one of the slivers there inside the face. I'm just going to start at the bottom. There we go. And now here inside the tooth area where the eyeball is. And there we go. I'm going to smooth all that out. I'm just going to make sure I don't touch where my icing is so that I don't damage it. And now we're going to let this dry so that we can come in and do the last section. Final section is ready to be filled here. So let's do that, the bottom. And now I can fill in that whole top area. Let's see. Smooth this out. A little shake. And we're done. Now I'm just adding some eyebrows, starting here at the top, pulling down so that they're smaller at the ends. And I'm just going to add a few little lines. That's it. As you saw in the beginning of the video, they glow very nicely. This product I had tested in a previous video. I love it. It works exactly like it says it would. I had thought I would add some glow on the hat, but I think it's more kind of authentic to have just the glowing in the jack-o'-lantern's face. I hope you enjoyed today's project. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any future videos, and I'll see you next time.